Sponsors.
Good morning and happy Monday to you. You're tuned into Community Conversations on KLK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hart, along with Miss Michael Simone.
Good morning, everybody.
And my special guest, Miss Brandi Hodges.
Good morning.
And we're going to try to make it through this. We're going to try to make it through this morning without coughing up a storm. I apologize in advance. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get into talking about some updates with the Craighead County Jonesboro Public Library, and then maybe some of the other Craighead County libraries. Talk about what's going on with them as well, and definitely want to catch up on some of the summer programs that you all have had. I mean, you had a lot of stuff going on for the little kids, the tweens, and the teens, and the adults. So let's first follow up on that.
So we've had a great summer so far, but it's not over yet.
Okay.
We still have the rest of July and parts of August because we go until the kids go back to school.
Okay.
And then we take, I don't ever want to call it a break because we never take a break.
Okay.
Excuse me, coughing as well. But we get back into, we do a lot of daycare visits.
Okay.
I don't know if we've ever talked about our outreach that we do. In addition to story times you could bring your child to, just right at the library,
Okay.
we go into daycare and child care facilities around this area, and we
Okay.
do story times and crafts there as well. So it's amazing how many story times we do a week. I don't have a number at the top of my head right now,
Okay.
but it's a crazy amount.
And I'm sure the kids absolutely love it.
They do. It's awesome when you'll be out at an event and you'll have a child who maybe they've not ever been able to come to the library, but they know Miss Stacy, or they know, Miss Sloan, or one of our storytellers.
Okay.
One of our librarians is out and about, and mom or dad or grandma, whoever's with the child, is like, well, where do you know this person from? And like, they do my story time. So it's really a great impact to have in a child's life to be able to go into where they are.
Okay.
Because parents, they gotta work.
Yes,
you,
right.
you gotta go to work, and you gotta support your family. So if we're able to go into the places where the children are, do a story time, have a craft that goes along with that story time,
Okay.
that makes an impact in a child's life.
That's really wonderful, and I'm sure the children take that with them as they grow up and get older. They have a deeper connection to the library, and then when they do get to a point where they're able to come to the facility or have their parents bring them, they just have a whole different outlook on what the library has to offer.
It is, and we hope that they continue to come. Other events we've had this summer include our off-site programs.
Okay.
Those are events that, we love for people to come to the library, of course, but we offer events outside of the library. We have one at Parker Park Community Center on Wednesdays at 10.
Okay.
And then that same event will take place at 2 o'clock at the Mall at Turtle Creek.
And I saw some of the pictures like on Instagram and Facebook, and the kids look like they had a blast.
So much fun. They're having so much fun. We actually have one of our programs is going to be taking place at our offsite program this Wednesday. I'm trying to pull it up when
Okay.
it's going to be at our branch libraries. It's going to be at Parker Park Community Center at 10 o'clock and at 2 o'clock at the Mall at Turtle Creek this Wednesday.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about marionette puppets?
I've heard of them, and
They're
The ones with
puppets
the
the
strings.
puppets on the string, like Pinocchio.
Okay, yes.
So the Clement McRae Marionette Puppet Company is going to be at the library. No, not at the library.
At Parker
They're going to be
Park.
at Parker Park at 10 and the Mall at 2 this Wednesday. But before that event at 6 o'clock at the library tomorrow night, you could see them. So
Okay.
if you are a working parent who can't make it to our daytime programs, you could always come to this 6 o'clock program that we're going to have tomorrow night at the library.
Okay.
We're going to have that same program at Lake City tonight. So if Lake City is like 15, 20 minutes away from
Okay.
Jonesboro, it's near Caraway, so if you live in the Caraway area, pop on over and see us.
Okay.
That program is also going to be, that's going to be at 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to have that program on Tuesday at Harrisburg. I was trying to pull a time, but you
Okay.
can always go onto our website, libraryinjonesboro.org,
Okay.
and look and see when it's going to be at the Harrisburg Library. I'll look it up while we're in the show today and share the information. Then we're also going to be at the library, the Goldsby Library in Lepanto on Thursday. So 4 days of opportunities to see the Clement McRae Puppet Show. I mean, they are very good, and they'll have some audience participation. So if you'd like to try to learn how to operate a marionette, there's a lot of skill to it because there's the 4 corners, and it's getting their legs and arms and tails to move. It's very fun to watch.
Once upon a time, I had a toy, a marionette puppet, and I didn't really know how to put it back together. So what happened was it tangled up, and I never was able to use it again.
Oh,
Horrible.
I'm so sorry.
I am too. I liked it at first, well, when I saw other people use it. But me being a child, I didn't know how to use it, and I didn't have any lessons or instructions, readable instructions.
Well, they usually sell some after the show, and they'll show the children how to do it. But it's opportunities like this. Like, where else is a child going to get a small lesson in how to use a marionette puppet? And it's so fun to watch. They have dancing poodles that have skirts that, like can skirts. They also have like a dog on a trapeze, and it's just a lot of. They have a skeleton that like completely comes apart while it's dancing.
That is amazing what they can do with puppets.
Strings and like dowels. It's just awesome to watch. So opportunity tonight in Lake City at 6 o'clock, tomorrow at the library at 315 West Oak Avenue at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll be at Parker Park at 10, the mall at Turtle Creek at 2. You also have opportunities in Harrisburg and Lepanto. So those are some opportunities we've got coming up. We've got our tween programs happening. Those are on Thursdays at 3. We've got teen programs that happen throughout the week. We also have programs for adults. This Wednesday is the last installment in our 3-part series of Eating Healthy.
Okay.
We've had ladies from the extension office coming in every Wednesday at noon to do a healthy eating session.
That's wonderful.
One of them was about how to watch for the Wednesday. Wednesday is when the coupons come out in the newspaper.
His name is Jerry, and
Yes.
Malia sometimes comes.
But Miss Jerry is teaching the classes, so just teaching us how to do these things that aren't difficult. There's something that's easy to do, but you may not think about.
Exactly.
I love her classes.
She taught to go through the sale circular and plan your meals based on what's on sale and what's healthy. You know, you need 1 of this, you need 2 of this. You know,
That's absolutely awesome.
It's a great class. We have our last installment of that this week. Our kids programming is happening also. If you want to bring your kiddos to story time, if you're a working parent and you're out there listening to us right now, we have our family story time for all ages is every Monday at 6 o'clock. So that family story time, maybe you get off work at 5, maybe you get off work at 5:30, maybe you get off work at 6 and someone can meet you at the library. And if you're a little late, that's fine. We'll still story time with you. It's so much fun. They read a story. Sometimes they sing. Sometimes they dance. They always do a craft. So it gets the kiddos moving. But it's a great opportunity. Anytime your child can be read to, have some interaction with other children, it's a great opportunity for them. We also have, these are super fun events, you guys. We have on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we have something called Build a Better World, which is the theme for our summer. So at Build a Better World each week, we have a member of the community come in and teach us about what they do, what their job is. And then they get to do a craft or an activity associated with that job. And
so
then,
what are some of the past ones?
So we've had someone from City Water and Lights Water Department come in and talk about what their job is, and the kids got to filter. They got to we use old 2-liter soda bottles that have been taken apart, and we put debris in it to show them filtration and how filtration works. We had an architect come in and talk about what his job is and how he does his job, and how you may have it drawn out on a piece of paper, 3 feet wide, but how they use a special kind of ruler to measure the drawing on the paper to correlate to the size of the building.
Wow.
So they got to use marshmallows and toothpicks to build their own structure. And that was really awesome to watch. This week is going to be, the theme for this week is your senses. So that's on Tuesdays is Build a Better World, where they get to learn about how these different jobs build our world that we live in, and how it makes it a better place to be, and how if we didn't have architects who knew what they were doing, we wouldn't have places to live. And if we didn't have people who filtered our water and made sure our water was what it needs to be, we wouldn't have drinkable water. So it's a great opportunity for kids. But also Thursdays at 1 and 5:30 for those working moms and dads, we have Exploration Zone.
Okay.
This week in Exploration Zone, it's going to be all about the senses. So they're going to be able to wear safety goggles that have saran wrap wrapped around them
Okay.
that distorts their vision. So they get to have their sight sort of compromised.
Okay.
And be able to see what can you do without that sense.
What do they do for the hearing?
I'm not sure yet. So they're going to come to Exploration Zone. But they just told me a couple tidbits of what they're going to be doing. But they're going to be kind of exploring the senses. And at that activity, they do something fun. Like a few weeks ago, it was all about building. And so they used skewers and marshmallows and mini marshmallows, I think. But they were having a contest of who could build the biggest tower, the tallest tower. And you had to have a big marshmallow on top. That was the rule. That was wherever the top was, you had to have a big marshmallow.
Like the star on top of the tree.
Exactly. And it would be sometimes the top one would sink with their construction, and they would be like, well, that's where we're measuring to.
Oh, wow. So they learned how to make it structurally sound.
And follow instructions.
Okay.
You know, not only is it important to have the materials and know what you're doing, but you also need to be able to follow instructions. And I know that's something they learn in school as well, but it's something that when you're sort of in play, you have to follow instructions too. So, you know, we like to call Miss Kate, our manager of youth services, she always calls it fun educational programming. Because you have fun, but you accidentally might just learn something.
That's
Oh,
right.
right.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
and if we can we're not tricking the kids, because we tell them up front. When we built the things a few weeks ago, we also did, we called it Travel Bingo,
Okay.
where we played a video off of YouTube that was just cars driving down the street, and they made their bingo sheet. They were given a piece of paper with different, like a stop sign, a bridge, this or that, a car or a taxi, and they cut out what they wanted to put on their bingo sheet. They glued them onto their bingo sheet, where in whatever order they wanted. So it's like if you had B taxi, you know, I may have I taxi. It's just wherever you chose to put it. So it's like those books we read when we were little. I don't know if you ever read them, either, Miss Micah, but it's the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh.
You know, where it would have 3 different endings or whatever, depending. I have to bring you guys some Choose Your Own Adventure books. They were by
So, is it like the one that you draw the line to?
Though they were a book, we read. It was the '90s, you guys. It was a long time ago.
Well,
I
that
may
was
have
my
missed
era. So you would basically, it'll say go to this page if you want to choose this.
Oh.
I always read it all the different ways. But they basically got to choose their own adventure with their bingo sheets. So they would play this video, and you know the kids had to pay attention to the video, and if they saw whatever they saw, they could mark it down. You know.
Okay, so the car passed the stop sign.
Yeah, they could say, "Oh, stop sign." You know?
Okay.
So
Interesting.
It was a lot of fun, but they got to learn stuff.
Right.
They got to learn to pay attention to their surroundings, which is very important no matter what you're doing in life.
ma'am.
Now,
So
do
pay
you know
attention.
any of the songs, Miss Brandi? Can you teach us one of the songs that they sing?
During the break, I may have to think about it. You know, there's one that they sing a lot that I'm gonna have to try to remember, but I can't off the top of my head. But I will. Even if I have to text one of our librarians to be like, "Hey, what's one of those songs you guys sing?" Skinamarink. Okay,
Oh.
so there's one that they do. It's Skinamarink, and it's Skinamarink, dinky dink, Skinamarink, do. I love you. It's so cute, and the kids do these little like Hawaiian motions, and they go up and down. But there's one thing they do before story time that I always love. It's like I clap my hands, I stomp my feet, I turn myself around, I clap my hands, I stomp my feet, I set myself right down.
Okay, I remember that
Something
one.
like that. That may not be exactly, but it's to get the kids, like, as I always say with my bunny, Lola, we've talked about her before, she has to get her wiggles out. Kiddos are the same way before story time.
Kind of
You
get
have
that
to
energy.
get their energy released a little, and then get them set down, and then they're ready to listen to a story.
Okay.
You know, and it's so fun how our different programmers will do. The programmer we had last week come in, Bob Charter, he brought live animals. He's so much fun. It's such a great program. He always tells them to put a bubble in their lips and a hand on their hips. And so so that they don't make sounds while the animals are out, because you don't want to scare the animals.
No, ma'am.
Especially, when he's holding a Gila monster in his hand. You don't want to scare that little animal.
Did he bring an iguana? What did he bring?
He brought
this
a
time?
Gila monster, which is it's an orange and black kind of striped lizard, and it coagulates. It's the prey that he was talking about how it works. He brought Toby, the red kangaroo. Toby's adorable.
Is that the one you're holding?
Yeah, that's Dominic. He has Dominic and Toby.
Okay.
I didn't get to touch an animal because I had the bronchitis.
Okay.
Worse then that I have it now. It's hanging on there. It doesn't want to let go. But the animals, I had to stay far away. He's like, "No, you're a germ carrier. You stay over there."
Oh, no.
So
Do they pick up germs like we do, like sicknesses
I
and
assume
things?
so. I mean, my mom bunny sat for me this last week just to keep Lola safe from my germs. So
Right.
you never know.
It may mutate when it gets to them, like turn
No,
into
we don't
something
want
else.
that.
Right.
Keep those critters safe.
Hopefully that's not why she attacked you.
Oh, she bit her mama. But lots of activities. If you've never been to the library, we are at 315 West Oak Avenue. We're just off of downtown. We're easy to get to. You can get to us from any direction in Jonesboro. Anyone is welcome. Say you don't live in our community and you are passing through, or you're here for vacation. You don't have to have a library card to come to any of our programs. To check out materials, sure, yes, you have to have a library card and you have to live in our area. But anyone is welcome to come to any of our activities. They're always free. So we have these events going on. We're going to offer bingo on Wednesday at 10 o'clock this week. So we had bingo, we had nighttime bingo last Friday. But we have bingo this week, so if you want to come play bingo with us, we always have multiple rounds and prizes.
Is that 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. Come see us. Come play bingo with us.
You can jet set over there as soon as you leave the show.
Yeah, it's so much fun. We do these events, and I know sometimes people will ask on our Facebook account, how much does that cost? And it's always free. You can always ask, but I'm always going to give you the same answer.
The library offers free activities, which you cannot beat free.
No.
And I want to talk to you guys about our genealogy night lock-in.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I want to talk a lot lot about that today if we can, but that is this Saturday. It's an annual event. We have, you come on.
She's
Micah.
been looking forward to that.
I'm so excited. Oh, let me tell you guys, and I want to talk more about this coming up, but Faye Futch, I hope I'm saying her name right, but it's Futch is her last name. So Faye Futch is going to be our guest speaker. She is speaking at 7 o'clock on Saturday, July 15th, and her presentation is about the African American Business District of Jonesboro from 1910 to 1950. And I'm so excited to hear about that.
That's impressive.
It's that's what she said. It's very impressive to have that business district.
I think Dr. Sharice Jones Branch, who always watches our shows,
I love, we've talked about her before.
and she said good morning to everybody. Good morning, Dr. Branch. I'm sure
morning,
she
Dr.
would
Branch.
love.
Good morning. I'm so excited to hear
What's the
about
name
it.
of that?
It's going to be the African American Business District from 1910 to 1950, I believe. I may have the last date wrong, but I can look it up on our beautiful website.
That's a nice time span.
Yeah, it's a great span. That's at 7 o'clock. Let me tell you guys just a hot minute about Genealogy Night. Genealogy Night is an annual event. We have it every third Saturday of July. It's from 6 o'clock until midnight. It's a genealogy night lock-in. You can come at any time in that time period. If you work until 8 on Saturday, come on and join us. We're rocking until midnight. But we have the guest speaker for an hour from 7 until 8. Starting at 6 o'clock, we'll have registration. But you can pre-register. We actually really love it when people pre-register. It doesn't do anything different, but it gives us an idea of who to expect. We want to fill that building up. So you come on down and join us that night. But anyone who stays until midnight gets a free t-shirt. I left it in my car, so if we have time during the break, I can pop out and get it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's turquoise, and it has It's our special edition this year because we're 100 years old, you guys.
I know that.
It's our special edition, and it's got our Centennial logo on the sleeve this year.
Okay.
But it's our Wind Back the Clock is our theme this year.
Okay.
We have it usually.
Facebook.
Yeah, we pick a theme every couple of years and we switch it up. When I started working at the library, it was Who's Your Granddaddy? That was a lot of fun. But when we come back, we'll talk more about that. But Genealogy Night Lock-In, it's a free event where from novice to expert, everyone's invited.
All right, we're definitely going to get more into that. You're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do your children know the significance of Rosa Parks? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. How about Langston Hughes, Patricia Roberts Harris, or Carter G. Woodson? February celebrates Black History Month, and now is a great time to share with your children about the significant contributions these and other African Americans have made to our country's history and heritage. Take some time together this month to learn about African American leaders in science, social reform, politics, sports, and the arts. Their stories will provide you with valuable character lessons. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com. The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, helping families love well.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Check out the Dorinda Clark Cole Radio Show every Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. Listen as Dorinda plays the very best in contemporary gospel music and interviews all of your favorite gospel artists. The Dorinda Clark Cole Radio Show every Sunday at 4 p.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Did you know KLEK has a brand new streaming app? That's right, you can listen to KLEK 102.5 FM anywhere in the world. The app is available for all Android phones and tablets, as well as iPhones and iPads. Just search your app store for KLEK and download the KLEK app for free today. And don't miss a beat of the education, entertainment, and empowerment on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. And before we went to break, Miss Brandi Hodges was getting into a discussion about the genealogy night, and she said it's going to be this Saturday from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. And anyone who stays until right after midnight or up until midnight, they will get a free T-shirt. So, let's see, hold it up to this camera back here.
A little to that way. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
This is the T-shirt that you'll get if you stay until midnight. It will have the same wind up the clock on the back. This one does not. That's why it was in my car because I'm taking it back to the printer. But it has a big wind back the clock on the back, as well as on the pocket. It has our Centennial logo.
Oh, Tiffany.
So we're celebrating. So you got to celebrate the best of your ability.
I do.
So we were talking about our event we've got coming up, and it's going to be. I was going to read the title again, just to see. So the official title is "The History of an African American Historical Commercial District, Jonesboro, Arkansas." 1910 to 1960. So I was off by 10 years. I said 1950.
Okay.
So
where is that information? Where can that information be found?
Well, it was. It's on our website actually.
Okay.
It's if you go to the library website. Website. It's part of our event or on our Facebook page. But if you go to the library website, libraryinjonesboro.org/events. You can search parameters. You can search by, because we have 7 branches plus Jonesboro branch, so 8 places you can search. You can search by age group and branch. So if you look at the Jonesboro branch, you can pull up July 15th genealogy night, and I should have the full write-up there.
Okay.
You can also go there to pre-register. So if you would like to pre-register for the genealogy night event this coming Saturday, just go to our website. You can go to our homepage, and it's one of the slides on the front of the homepage.
Okay.
And it'll have the bright blue and white letters that says "Wind Back the Clock." But a precursor to that event at 2 o'clock, since we are celebrating our 100th anniversary this year, every quarter we've been offering a different peek into a 25-year section. So we did the first 25 years early in the year, then we did the next 25 years. Now we're doing from 1968 until 1992 is our third section of time. And that event is going to be this Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So join us from 2 to 3 in the library round room. We'll have some genealogy giveaways going on. I say genealogy, it's 100-year giveaway things, chip clips and some hand sanitizers and things like that that are genealogy, or I keep saying genealogy, 100-year inspired. I'm all about genealogy. You can see where my brain is. But we'll have some of that going on. Miss Phyllis Burkett, who was our director for 33 years at the library, she's going to be the featured speaker at that event. She'll be joined by Dwayne Beisner, who was an architect who was on the company who built our library building in 1964.
Oh, wow.
Our building was built in 1964 that we're in now. And then also be joined by Rusty Dancer, who was the assistant director at the library for many years. So they are going to be she said, we're going to tell it like it is.
Okay.
So I'm excited to hear that. Miss Phyllis was the library director when I started working there, and she's very knowledgeable. She's very knowledgeable about all things library. And in Jonesboro, she lived here since she started working here in the 70s, I believe.
That building looks well kept for it to be up since 1964.
And we are part of an AETN documentary that was released several years ago, Clean Lines. I can't remember the exact name of it right now, but it's an AETN documentary. We have a copy of it at the library if you would ever like to see it. But we're part of a movement that was going on around that time. Our arches are different than, that's a different look than other types of buildings maybe built during that same time period. So,
did they speak about that during the architecture census and things like that?
I'm not sure if they did. I wasn't there for the whole presentation that they did for the kids, but this event is an hour long. Miss Phyllis and the 2 other guests will speak about not just the library, but Craighead County and Jonesboro, kind of what it was like to be alive during that time. And we're just looking back at our 100 years. I wasn't around 100 years ago. None of us were in this room.
No.
So it's interesting to have folks who can look back at that time. And I went to the first event that we had for the 1917, the first 25 years. And it was so interesting to hear the things that were going on in our community at that time. It's interesting to hear. So anyone who would like to come to this free event, 2 o'clock on Saturday in the library round room, then go take a short break and come, or hang out at the library, whatever you prefer. Join us again at 6 o'clock there at the library. We'll be there from 6 until midnight for Genealogy Night Lock-In. Genealogy Night Lock-In, for those who have not done genealogy research, Miss Mike, have you done any research yet?
Other than Googling my family members, no ma'am.
Okay, so the table you would want to go to is our table for beginners. So what we'll do is we'll have volunteers there throughout the night who will be set up at different points, all at the same time. I say at different points, at different place points. So there'll be a table here for beginners. So you're getting started. You go to that table and they'll be ready to help you. We'll have different printouts you can get to help you get started. Different things you can fill out. And then if you're, you've been doing it, but maybe you need a little help,
Right.
you go to this table. And there are ladies, ladies and gentlemen, they've been doing it long enough, they know what to do. They can get you, get you over that hurdle.
So is it two different things that you do for your mother's side as well as your father's side?
You do it for both sides of the family, because they may go in completely different directions.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And because, that happens many times. A lot of times people don't marry from the same town, same lineage, so it could go, and it's amazing what people will find in their lineage that they're like, well, I did not know that,
Does their lines ever intersect?
I'm sure there are times that happens. I know within my own family, my mom's parents, her mom and dad, her uncle and aunt were also married from like her dad's uncle and her mom's sister.
Oh, wow.
Were married. So there are times where you're still not related, but there are people who from the same family are married to members of that same family.
Right.
That's awesome.
It's interesting to look at your family and see what you can find. And what's really funny is you'll find times when people are like, well, I did not know my great-great-great-grandfather was a bank robber. You find these things about your family they're funny.
Yeah.
And maybe not at that point to that man's poor wife or...
Did he hide any money?
Yeah.
Like, okay, where's the money?
Where's the money? But it's so... I'm going to show my 1990s age growing up right now, but it's so cool. You find these things and you're just like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. But we also have, as long as you're within the library building, there's a website called Ancestry.com.
Yes,
You can pay for a subscription to it. But why pay for that when you can come to the library and use it for free? As long as you're in the library building, you can go onto our database site, put in a library card number and your PIN, which is the last 4 digits of your phone number.
Okay.
And then you can use that website for free, but you have to be in the library.
Okay.
We have it in Jonesboro and Harrisburg.
So what does that give you access to?
You can look at death records, you can look at marriage records, you can look at census reports, you can look at all sorts of data. It's government documents.
I have a cousin who does that type of research for whatever job she does in California. And so she gave all the family members who wanted access to our genealogy page.
Yes.
It's so interesting because now you click on a name and then you'll see some branches and leaves that'll pop up if there's some information about that person. You click on the leaf and that leaf may take you somewhere else and somewhere else, depending on who's done the research and who's plugged in whatever information. So it's really cool.
And you help each other by doing that. You plug in what you know, they plug in what they know, but it's also, you can do that, but it's also just access to documents.
Yes.
And we have books. I mean, if you've never been to the library genealogy collection, anyone out there, stop by the library sometime and just look at our collection of genealogy research. We have documents we have microfiche from the Jonesboro Sun, way far back. You can put those, they'll show you how to use the machine. You put those in, you pull it up, you zip through there. You can read the full newspaper from 50 years ago if you want to.
That is so
I would love to
interesting.
see the layout and just see how it was all done.
How it's changed since then.
Yes.
But also we have books of cemetery records. So if you're looking at a specific cemetery for, say you were told your Uncle Willie was buried in the cemetery, you can pull that cemetery book and just look through it.
Oh wow. What if they've been I was thinking about, should I say this? What if they've been dug up?
I don't know, exhumed. I'm not sure. I'm not the foremost expert from the library on this.
I'm sorry.
But, no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just saying there are people who know a lot more than I do. So Nathan Whitmire and Deborah James, who work at the library, are fabulous. Nathan is actually the one who runs our genealogy area.
Okay.
He's over the genealogy area. It's one thing that is, he does most of the scanning on it. It's his baby. We have something called, and I know you guys will like the name of it. It's called the Scan Diva, and it is I love it. It's our new scanner we got last year. So there are folks out there who have a scan. what are the big books? I can't think of the names of them. Like
encyclopedias?
Scrapbooks.
Okay.
Scrapbooks.
Big scrapbooks. I have to think of words sometimes. Scan big scrapbooks. The DARs has scan scrapbooks. And instead of taking them apart page by page, sometimes we still have to do that, but this scanner's huge, and instead of you having to flip your book upside down to scan it, you lay your book in a cradle, and then it cradles it to get it to support the spine the best way. It's just something we felt we needed at the library, so we did a campaign last year to help raise money to purchase that, and we were able to purchase it.
That's a really good tool.
It's a great tool to have. That's a great word. It's a great tool to have there at the library. But another thing we do, because I keep adding things to the list, we do a project called Timeline, where we encourage the public, bring us your pictures. If you have pictures from your family from years past, bring them in to us if they're from Craighead or Poinsett County, because that's the area we're focusing on, because that's our coverage area. Bring us your photos, let us scan them. We'll use that Scan Diva to do it sometimes. We'll scan those pictures into our database. You could go to our website. You can, Miss Quabila is on it right now.
When you go to the website, you scroll down to the bottom of the page and in big bold letters, Timeline. You click on that, and then there's a little blue link that says Archives. And you just go through, oh my gosh.
Look at some of those pictures. Aren't they amazing?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how people lived, where people lived, what type of jobs they had, what type of clothes they wore, what type of parades they held. All of these things are things that maybe you haven't been told. Maybe you can't be told what a parade was like, but you can go back and look at the pictures from the 1950s. They had a great love for making giant paper mache heads for Christmas parades.
Wow.
They're interesting to look at.
Kind of reminds me of the dragons.
Yes, yes.
Like I've seen it in other countries, but never thought it was here.
Giant paper mache heads in the 1950s at the Jonesboro Christmas Parade.
I want to make one.
Yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun to look back through those pictures and look and see just, the businesses that were on Main Street. Because that's where they held the Christmas parade. There was a House of Fashion in some of the Christmas parade pictures. It's gorgeous to look back and to recognize some of these buildings and see how they've changed. And that's why we encourage you to bring your pictures in and let us scan them into our system, because other people can enjoy those photos. Not only that, but other people can look back on those photos and maybe where your great-grandfather's house, they can recognize a tree in the front yard and be like, that's where my house is now.
I'm looking at this picture of the old City Water and Light building.
That building was torn down about 10 years ago. It was on the corner there of where the overpass is at Main and Union. It was a gorgeous
that building there.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a gorgeous building.
Like I've been in Jonesboro about 20 plus years.
Okay.
So I remember it a little bit, but when things are gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
What we'll do for you is if you bring your pictures in and let us scan them, we'll send you back not only with your physical pictures, but those pictures deteriorate over the years. We also send you with a USB drive that has your photos on it.
That's pretty interesting.
So you get a digital copy of your photos that you get to keep forever. So you could pass that down to your family members. You could take those pictures are yours. You could take and you can print those pictures. I print them off of Shutterfly sometimes, which is a website. You could take and you can print new copies of those photos from that USB drive. So it's a great way to have more copies of the pictures that already belong to you, but maybe they're getting in a little bit worse shape. So let us scan them into our database with our timeline project. The pictures undergo no damage. That is
a hotel.
That's a Hotel Noble. Used to be part of downtown area. It's no longer there. That's another thing. So many of those buildings are no longer there. And for us to be able to look back on our history and remember, not if we didn't know they were there, we can't remember, but we can look back on it and we can see pictures. We can show them to people who do remember, who maybe forgot that that building was ever standing there.
It sounds like you have a historian heart.
I do. I love it. I'm from Mountain View, which is a small town in northeast Arkansas, and the history of that town, where one of the folk capitals of Arkansas, I guess you would say. That's what they always say growing up. But those old buildings, there's a building there that there's a Mexican restaurant in now, but that was an old car dealership. And they have photos hanging inside that building of when it was a dealership, and that was where the restaurant is, where people eat, is where they would work on cars. And my great-grandpa worked on cars in that building.
Oh, wow.
So, I love that they have old pictures of people working under cars. My great-grandpa may be under one of those cars,
Could be his feet.
Could be his feet that we're seeing. But this is right here that you're looking at. That's one of the library buildings. That's the third building second building that the library was located in. So the library's been in 4 locations. We started out on Huntington Avenue in a small storefront. We were known as a rest and relaxation room in 1917, opened by the Civic League for women and children to go while their husbands or dads were at work downtown. They could go and they could read magazines and newspapers, relax on some sofas or whatever. And then we moved to a house, and then we moved to another house on Main Street, and then we moved to the current location at 315 in 1964. So lots of different history that we have. One awesome thing I can tell you from this database is we were at the St. Bernard's Health and Fitness Expo they had in April. This year we have postcards. So if you come to the event on Saturday, you'll have the opportunity to pick up some free postcards with pictures from our timeline project on the front of them. They're actual postcards that you can send off to anyone. They're full working postcards. We had a woman stop at our table, pick up a postcard, and get this surprise / shocked / oh my goodness expression on her face. And my automatic reaction is, oh my goodness, I've done something wrong. But she picked it up and I said, oh my goodness, what's wrong? She turned to her mother, who was in a wheelchair with her, turned to her mother and said, Mama, look at this. And they looked at it. And it was a picture that I've seen thousands of times looking through our database. It's 2 or 3 men standing behind a boiler being pulled by horses down Main Street. She said, that's my grandpa.
Oh, wow.
And the woman, her mother, she said, that is my daddy.
That gives me chills.
And we had no idea who that man was.
Oh my God.
So with their help, we were able to identify. So Miss Quabila, when you pull that up, you'll notice it has information underneath it. That information is sourced by the people who give us the pictures. But if the people who give us the pictures don't know who that is, we have to depend on people going to our database or looking at our postcards and helping us. So now we were able to put in our database who that man was.
So you're able to edit it and add names and
add
things.
names, add locations, add maybe if they knew the company of who that boiler belonged to, add that in there. Anything we can do. And so that was, she said she'd seen that picture before but hadn't seen it in years. And so I sent a handful of that postcard home with them to be able to share with their family members. But it's things like that that we as the library can make a difference in someone's life.
Alright, we're definitely going to pick up this conversation when we come back. But we do have a Facebook shout out real quick from Helen Scott. I've been patiently waiting for this event. All the information and getting to meet the people involved are priceless. So Helen, this Saturday, 6 p.m., go to the library. And we'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. One of the challenges of trying to educate people about money is trying to get through to those who refuse to believe that water is wet, or who think the rules of smart money management do not apply to them. First reality check. Fake it till you make it is foolishness. This hood-rich mindset says that you need to look rich by any means necessary, doing things that will destroy your finances, including paying bills late, abusing credit, overspending and piling up debt, all in hopes that if you look the part, wealth will somehow be magically attracted to you. The reality, wealth is about delaying gratification, saving and investing, and living within your means. That doesn't mean you have to look broke, busted, and disgusted, but it does mean that you need to live according to a budget and then only buy what fits into it. Don't fake it till you make it. Make it so you don't have to fake it. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Danny Ford, owner of Glen Saint Motors in Paragould, strongly believes in the values of family and hard work with a commitment to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who keep America free, providing sales and servicing of Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, and Cadillacs, located at 6345 Highway 49 in Paragould. 870-565-4358. Details at glensaintparagould.com and at klekfm.org. God bless our troops.
Arkansas Early Learning offers child care activities and educational programs to children ages 0 to 5 that gives them a head start in life. Arkansas Early Learning is in the community at no cost. Applications at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org or on Facebook at Arkansas Early Learning.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization. The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, OESPHA, Eliza Murphy, number 395, presents Fish Fry, Saturday, July 29th, 2017. Plates will include 2 pieces of fish, spaghetti, slaw, bread, and dessert. This will take place from 11 o'clock a.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. at the E. Boone Watson Center, 1005 Logan Avenue in Jonesboro. More information is available at 870-919-6634.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to our last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with me, Quabila Harden, Micah Simone, and Miss Brandi Hodges. We have been having a very great conversation about all things library and especially the genealogy night that is coming up July 15th, this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. You will get a free t-shirt if you stay until 12. There will be some refreshments, so we'll let Brandi go.
We'll have door prizes throughout the night too.
Oh, wow.
So when you come in, you'll sign in for a door prize, and we'll draw names throughout the night.
Okay.
I also have, let me tell you, I also have some old genealogy t-shirts from last year. I'm going to be giving away. Those are first come, first serve.
I love t-shirts.
I love t-shirts too. So they're purple from last year. But, you know, I don't need them. They're just sitting there on my shelf, so might as well give them away to the Genealogy 11 folks.
All right. And then while you're there, sign up for a library card.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes. And library card sign-up month, we sign them up year-round, but library card sign-up month is coming up in September, so we'll have a lot of fun stuff surrounding that month as well. But we talked during the break a little bit. It is a long night of fun. We're there from 6 o'clock until midnight, and so we do something called a shared potluck.
Okay.
So if you would like to partake in the food that will be shared by others, please bring something. Is how it works. It's bring some, eat some. I guess is how we look at it. But you could bring a bag of chips. You can bring, the library provides drinks, but, you know, bring some dip. Or it doesn't have to, you don't have to prepare something hard, I will, but that's just who I am. I usually bring like a coffee cake or cookies or something. But if you don't like to cook or bake and you don't have time for that or whatever,
Right by the store,
grab a $2-3 bag of chips or a jar of salsa or anything. Anything. We are there to research and snack and listen to awesome speakers talk about awesome things. So we talked about it before, and we've had speakers that we've had in the past. We had someone last year talking about tracing your Native American roots. Every year we have something a little bit different to get people excited about genealogy research. If we can tap in to what people are interested in. So that's why we're talking about the history of the African American Commercial Business District from 1910 to 1960 this year.
And that's going on during the genealogy time?
7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock.
If we want you to come for the whole event, but if you just want to come hear our speaker, that's at 7 o'clock. Come listen to our speaker. She'll be in the round room talking about that event. I'm also going to video record it to put it on our YouTube page as well. But we'd love to have you come because you can only ask questions if you're there.
That's right.
So I'm so excited I love hearing all these different programs. Every single year, I've never been disappointed by any of the speakers that we've had come and speak. I do want to throw this out there because it's what I have pulled up on my phone right now. But I mentioned earlier in our conversation that we were going to have the presentation of the marionette puppets on our branch libraries this week as well. That's going to be tonight in Lake City at 6 o'clock. In Harrisburg tomorrow, Tuesday, the 11th at 10 a.m. And at Goldsby Public Library in Lepanto on Thursday at 6. So those are your other opportunities in addition to 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the library. So timeline, 6 o'clock tonight in Lake City. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, library in Jonesboro. Wednesday, 10 a.m. Parker Park Community Center, 2 o'clock Mall at Turtle Creek. Thursday, 6 o'clock at the Lepanto Library.
And 10 a.m. Tuesday at Harrisburg.
10 a.m. Tuesday at Harrisburg. So lots of times to see the marionette puppets. But back to Genealogy Night Lock-In. That event is from 6 until midnight, as we said. We'll have an event at 2 o'clock featuring Miss Phyllis Burkett, Dwayne Beisner, and he worked at Stuck Associates. He was an architect there. He also assistant director Rusty Dancer, who retired several years ago. They're all going to be speaking about the library from 1968 to 1992. Then we're going to have our Genealogy Night Lock-In. If you would like to pre-register, just go to our website www.libraryinjonesboro.org. Click on the slide on the home page of our library. There's a slideshow that plays, and it's one of the slides. If you don't see it immediately, there are little dots in the bottom right hand corner that you can click to make the slideshow move if you don't have a touch screen. And when you touch it, it pulls up the description of the event. At the top it will say register now and a blue button. You click that button that says register now. That takes you directly to our registration form. Excuse me, bronchitis. Please only click that button once. It may look like it hasn't gone through. You won't get an email saying that you have registered, I don't believe. But just click that button and you'll register. If you get in and your name isn't on the list, it won't hurt anything and we can get you added to our registration. But it's such a fun event, you guys. If you've never been to it, it may sound, for especially young people, may not sound like just the most fun you can have researching your family history, but the things that you uncover and the things that you discover about your family that you never knew makes it worth the while.
It does.
But we have that going on. Our guest speaker will speak about the history of an African American historic commercial district, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 1910 to 1960. Faye Futch is our speaker. She is a research assistant historian at the University of Arkansas Archaeological Survey at Parkin, the Parkin Research Station. That will be at 7 o'clock. We'll have experts on hand, just things that I always write down in here. I can already tell you because I wrote that. But we'll have experts on hand there who can help a beginner get started. They can help someone who's trying to get over a hurdle, get over that hurdle. Those are just some things that are happening at that event. But other things happening this week, we have an ongoing contest. It's a video contest. We would love for you to shoot a quick video of yourself with your cell phone, up to 2 minutes, saying why you love the library. If you love the library because you can come there once a year, attend an event, and get a free t-shirt, tell us about it. We have prizes in the form of gift cards. So please shoot a video, and the instructions are all on our website. If you go to our events page and you click on Why I Love My Library, you can read all about it. Lots of fun things we've got going on this summer.
All right, we have a question. What can people do to get in if they work or have other obligations that cause them not to get there at 6?
Oh, you can come anytime, my friends.
Okay.
The doors, we are closed to the public, so if someone just wants to come to the library, we're closed to the public, but the doors will be unlocked. Okay. And there will be someone sitting there at the circulation desk to direct you in the right direction. But 6 until midnight, I mean, anyone can come at any time. Sometimes, a few years ago, quick anecdote, we had some ladies drive over from Blytheville. They had heard about it, and they didn't get off work until, say, 6 or even 7. They got there around 9. Getting there at 9, you still have plenty of time to do some fun genealogy research before midnight. So, and to keep people awake, we do those door prize drawings about once an hour or so. So
that's pretty fun.
We just want everyone to feel like they can come. Okay. So if you don't get off work until 7, if you don't get off work till 7:30, maybe you're not available until 9. Come on out and see us, because we'll still be there. We'll still be getting our research on.
Alrighty. So, Miss Helen, still make plans to go. It doesn't matter what time you get there. Go ahead and register online. Now, what does the registration help to do?
It just gives us an idea of
how
many people are coming. Okay. But we like to do a pre-registration just to get an idea. It's not required that you pre-register. You don't get anything special for pre-registering. You know, it's not anything like that. Right. It just allows us to kind of have an idea. We usually have more than 100 people. We'd love to have more than 200 people. So tell your friends.
That's awesome.
Tell your family members. You know, the more we can do to spread awareness about the fact that we have a genealogy collection, we have our timeline project, and to help you learn more about your family's history, that's what we're there for.
Alrighty. Alright, so you've been tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We thank you so very much for all of those listening and watching our Facebook live stream. Join us tomorrow, which will also be our 1-year anniversary. We will have Mr. Famous Taylor, founder and president of Scarlet Chess Club, talking about chess, and he's going to bring a chess board. So thank you
for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering